Welcome, family, fantasy football family. This is the Fantasy with Sean, John, and Twan. And for those who are just tuning in for the first time, I'm John, main man in the middle, Twan. And to my far right, Mr. Sean, and this is the Fantasy with Sean, John, and Twan. Also, if you have not yet, please give us a follow on our IG page, The Fantasy with SJT. Once again, The Fantasy with SJT. Leave your questions in the comments or the DM, or also leave your questions. If you're watching the live stream, leave them in the comment section below. We'll try to get to them as we move along in the show. And then as well, please, it's Nation on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can get all the updates once we release them. All right. So let's get into it, y'all. Interesting week.
Terrible week. Terrible week. Terrible week.
Terrible week.
Man,
Football.
it
We're
was
gonna
what
get
it was.
to
It
it.
was what it was, man.
Actually, this probably was like the first.
You muted right now. I do want you
Yeah,
to.
man. I ain't
But we'll-
just lose this week. I took a beating. Beat me like I stole something, man. I don't know. You guys see it up there. It was pretty terrible.
Look like you're trying to throw
Pretty bad,
games.
pretty
Look like
bad.
you're throwing games, man.
Look at that. Kyler Murray.
Look bad, man. It looked
No.
really bad.
Yeah.
It looked really bad. Like it's nothing I can do. It's no player I could have started. I needed God. That's all I needed right now. To try to
He
get
was
back
due
into
though,
it.
man.
Like,
He was due.
it's crazy. I'm
It-
sitting there, like I'm projected to get dogged. I still got faith. I'm like, I need a touchdown here, touchdown here. No, boy.
Every single play going forward.
Hey, I need a touchdown. It's funny. I'm like, I need a touchdown from Bernard right here. Cook. Like, didn't get any of it.
These drives.
I didn't get any of it. Like, not one of my. Put it back up there. Not one of my players scored a touchdown. Not one. Look at Kyler Murray, 7.1. 170 yards, interception. I think he had like 5 carries for 31 yards. Like Dalvin Cook,
Protecting the shoulder.
8.2, 61 yards and a fumble. That's what's up there. Not a touchdown, a fumble. Then I thought he got hurt. He came off the game. He couldn't even walk off the field by himself.
Mhm.
I'm like, Dalvin Cook is done. Like he's done for this week, next week, the week after. I was scared, but he came back in the game. So still got life. 9-3. Still got a lot of life left. You know, playoffs is coming up.
I mean, if you're gonna have a week like that, it's better to have it
Yeah,
right
it's
now
better to have it now
versus
than
have it in the play.
you don't ever want to have a week that I had.
You don't.
Like,
You don't.
If it was like 79, 80, I'm like, okay, it's a bad week. 38.9. Like terrible week.
I think the
Miles
big one.
Sanders.
Oh, my
I don't know. I don't know. I'm concerned.
He's just
concerned
like, they
Miles
need to. They
Sanders.
need to give him
Like,
more touches.
He averages. It's funny. He averages 6 yards a carry.
and
And
there's
they don't give him the ball.
They-
Yeah, I
he's
seen
not
that.
getting
I
the
seen
ball.
that. I seen that.
6
I
yards
did
a
see that.
carry.
I
And he's
did
not getting
see
the ball. I don't know what it is. I don't know what he has to do to get the ball. I don't know. They put in fucking Boston Scott. I'm like, why is he in the game? It's bad. Cooper Kupp, where were you? He caught one pass for 36 yards and finished with 41 yards. Like two
Yeah, he
catches.
came off a
41
big
yards.
week too. I don't
Came
know
off
what
a huge week. Jared Goff looks terrible again. So inconsistent. Antonio Brown had Adam Thielen out with COVID. Started Antonio Brown. You see what he did, 2.1. He's not the guy in Tampa. Godwin is still the guy. Mike Evans is the touchdown guy over there. Godwin is the yardage guy. So, yeah.
But if you would have
I don't
told,
know.
if you would have told me that Rudolph would have been your highest scoring player before that week, I'd have been like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right.
Rudolph was.
Rudolph was on the team.
Yeah, he wasn't on the team. I got Rudolph on Sunday when they told me Mark Andrews had COVID. So I had to pick up Rudolph, and he was my highest point scorer this week. Like, you see the Coach D, negative, 5.5? Oh, negative 5.
I don't know, man.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Bernard ain't do
Terrible.
nothing.
It
Terrible.
was just
Like,
bad.
it's bad. It's bad.
There's nothing to say.
All around.
It was really just bad, man. I mean,
Nothing I
we
can say
can,
about that, man.
we can go to my matchup, man.
Like, nothing to talk
lost.
about there, man.
I lost a heartbreaker, man. I don't know if anybody ever lost like this. And as we speak, Justin Tucker's adding to his points. So let's get into it. Pretty much like, I don't know, man. You can't lose like this. You can't. You can't. Like,
You hate to
I put
see
up
it.
132. You put up 132. You're not supposed to lose a game. You know what I'm saying? My quarterback had 200 60 plus in the first quarter of that game. And I don't know, and he finished with 30. Like, I mean, when he does that, and when he does that, man, I'm expecting him to finish with 40.
Yeah,
I want 40 from Pat Mahomes. Throw it to anybody outside of Kelsey. I mean, clearly, because but it is what it is. But
football.
It is, it's football, man. I mean, going to Kamara. If y'all would look at my lineup, Kamara's the only person right now, honestly, that I like laid a dud. Kamara laid a dud this week. I feel like a lot of people scared about Kamara right now. I'm not scared, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's the situation. It's the situation in New Orleans right now. To where I just feel like, I feel like they're going to use him when they have to, but they rested him for the stretch run. And for fantasy football purposes, it's a good thing, but for fantasy players, it's not good, like myself. Mm-hmm. And I wish he was out there, but he gonna ball. It is what it is. James White had 2 touchdowns from inside the red zone. Yeah, James White scoop. James White after waivers. My last transaction. I'm done. I'm done, ladies and gentlemen, with the waivers.
People at home might not know what that means.
Robert Woods did his thing. Devontae Parker looks good. Fitzpatrick was starting. You guys start Devontae if Fitzpatrick's in there. Hunter Henry's coming along. You know what I'm saying? Double-digit points the past, 3 weeks. Chris Godwin did his thing, even though, they took the L, but he did his thing, 13.7. Saints defense is playing without a quarterback. It is. This is Chris Godwin. Nah, this is last week, man. It's last week. Yeah. I did. No, nothing for him. A lot of people got the dub, man. I'm telling you. Took a tough L, man.
Yeah, it's like that sometimes. Even like last year with Sean, he was the highest scoring team in our league and didn't make it into the playoffs. Sometimes it's just you play the wrong person the wrong week. So you know what I mean? But at least you still have a chance.
Get into your matchup, man.
At least you still have a chance. But we'll go into my garbage matchup.
Nah.
But
bro, you won.
But I took the W. I took the W. But it was another toilet bowl matchup that I had this week. But I'll take it. I'm still gonna play it all the way out. Deshaun Watson played great against Detroit with 318 passing yards, 4 TDs. He did well, and then he got Coach Patricia fired that week. That was that was the game right there that sealed it for him. But 4 TDs, and I also had Duke Johnson on the team as well, which had one big play, but was solid. Gave me a solid 15.5. Will Fuller went off. This is the last week I'm able to use him.
Jeter
with 32.1. So really, those were the only guys that really went off for me. Like, we could just show that Detroit Lions in a Texans game and just see what my guys did.
Everybody you was watching football on Thanksgiving. You saw what Deshaun Watson did.
Yeah, it was big week for him,
real, man.
And then everybody else on my team was subpar. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything major out of anybody else. Edwards-Helaire has been a disappointment this whole season. Well, not all season, but he had a few games. But 4.4, it's just, Mahomes is throwing it, slinging it now, and it's just ain't much for him. Ain't much carries going his way. I don't know how many carries he got, but 4.4 is not going to get it done. Marvin Jones, 7.8. Thought he would do better, but I'll take it. Schultz, 4.9 going into Washington. I thought he would do all right, be better than what he did, but Whatever. But they got smashed. Hell to the Washington football
Tight
team.
ends, you
My
never know
squad.
what
Tight ends, you
what
never
they're gonna
know.
do, man.
Then Edmonds, I had to start him by default. I mean, he has been solid throughout the season, but it's looking like Drake is starting to take over that role more towards down the stretch. So he didn't really have a big game, which I didn't expect from him, but 6.3. And then my defense, Charge, I was surprised with the Chargers defense, them putting up 10.
Got that early in this pick six.
Yeah, that pick six did it for him. So I was surprised with that. Everything else, I mean, Blankenship usually comes through for me week in and week out. Only gave me 2. It was just a shit show versus the Tennessee Titans. So there wasn't really much for him there. So, but overall, that was the matchup. I had 3 heavy hitters that really solidified my W, and that's what got it done.
Fantasy,
so,
that's all it takes.
It's a good win.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Really,
3 players.
It's a good win.
It's a good win, man.
But I'll take it. Need to finish strong, so I'll take that one. But what we're gonna get into next, Mac? We're gonna get into. All right, we're gonna get into the waivers, y'all.
We can do the waivers this week since we got a game on right now, and ESPN changed the rules, so we can do waivers this week.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy. It's a game on right now.
All right.
It's
Yeah, I
an
wanna see
NFL game on Wednesday at 4:49. It's an NFL game on right now. Who like?
I don't know if we should be doing that or doing this.
It's crazy. Like COVID's just changing everything. Like,
Yeah, and if you're out there
But-
watching the game, please give us updates, fantasy updates. Yeah, like if we doing the show, so yeah, give us some fantasy updates on what's going on, so we know, keep us in the loop, and we gonna finish
in
this.
the loop. I know. But not-
Right.
We
That's Edwards until
Booker. He's only owned in 5 leagues. But Josh Jacobs nurse knee injury.
I think so. Yeah.
I want to say a knee injury right now. So
Yeah.
it's no damage. He didn't tear anything. He didn't break anything. So we don't know if he's going to play. But if he's not out there, you can start Devontae Booker this week. He averages 5.5 yards per carry this year. He also has 4 runs of 20 yards right now on the team. That's the most for the team.
That is the most for the team.
That's the most. When Devontae Booker's out there, like he looks good this year. Like he looks explosive. Like he's getting carries even when Jacobs is there. Like they're not splitting series, but he gets his own series sometimes. Like he comes in, he's the first guy out on the series that time. Like when they come around. So
It's like he's splitting the series, but
Yeah.
I mean, Jacobs.
If you're a Jacobs-
carries, but he's
he's
hurt.
still getting more carries. But
If
he's
you're
hurt.
a Jacobs owner, you need to be going to get him immediately because you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
So
if you're a Jacobs owner,
with
definitely-
Jacobs out this week, I have Devontae Booker as a running back 2. Like I feel like he's a top 20 play if Jacobs is not in the lineup this week.
Who they play? I mean, it is what it is.
I don't know who the Raiders play this
I
week.
don't know who the
but
Raiders play either.
he's gonna get volume. Like I don't.
Yeah, he's gonna. I mean, he's gonna.
He's
be
not playing
the guy.
Pittsburgh or Baltimore or the Colts,
Right.
so I like him this week. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he started last week. Looked pretty good. 257 yards, 2 touchdowns. In the last 5 games, he has over 19 fantasy points. Last 5 games.
I like Ryan
I
Fitzpatrick.
mean, they
I
took
like-
him
I
out.
like- I like-
when they took Fitzpatrick out, he
I
was
like Fitz.
hot.
I like Fitz too.
Fitzpatrick was hot. Like they took him out. I was surprised that they took Fitzpatrick out. He was winning games. Yeah, put 2 in there. The Dolphins had a winning record when they put 2 in.
Oh yeah, the Raiders play the Jets.
Oh, the Raiders played the Jets.
So,
So,
yeah,
I mean, but teams that haven't been able to run on the Raiders, on the Jets, it's been more passing yards put on the Jets.
Mhm.
But when you can pass the ball and move the ball down the field, it gives you more goal-to-goal
So
opportunities.
Jets go get the victory.
I mean, I need the Jets to win this year, but
Yeah, hey, I need to put that in there. I need to put that in there.
But I don't think this is the week that the Jets get the W, man. I don't know when it's going to be, but I just need one win. I got to bet with these guys that the Jets win.
We got
at
a lot
least
of bets,
one game.
man. We got a lot of bets.
And why?
Yeah, that's what a game this year.
I mean,
Why?
but how many teams in league history lost 0-16? It hasn't been a lot. So
Hey, anybody out there?
I'm taking the average.
Do the Jets
It's
win a
not like-
football game this year? Do the Jets win a football game this year? I want to see what everybody has to say about that.
no,
Do the Jets? Why?
they're gonna, I know,
What do you
no,
mean?
I'm saying they're gonna win one this year.
Yeah. Who's with? Who
They're
they gonna
gonna
be?
win one. I
Who's
don't
on the
know. I don't know who
You don't
they're
even
gonna be.
know. You don't even see it like this is it.
Yeah,
You don't even. You know like this is the week. Your this is the week has passed.
Nah,
You said the Patriots, and they almost got him. They almost got him. They almost got him.
they're gonna get one. Don't worry about it. They're gonna
Man,
get one.
look, it's
I
done.
mean,
It's done.
They're gonna get one.
They're done.
They're not.
They're a running back. The running back is 37.
It doesn't matter.
It's Frank Gore,
Let's think of the Frank Gore. We got him on the waiver list, don't we?
Scoop him. Frank next.
Hey, Frank Gore on the waivers. This week he had 18 carries for 74 yards. Last week he had 15 carries for 61 yards and a touchdown. Like, yeah, I'm not saying, oh, pick up Frank Gore and start him right away. No, but he's a good stash on your bench. Maybe P. Ryan's out right now for at least 2 more weeks. If you need a stash guy, put him on your bench. So you're not.
Hold on.
So you don't think anybody
Fucking
should pick
Gore?
up Frank
If you're
Gore?
starting Gore, like
You
come
never
on, bro.
know.
I was starting Gore. I mean, it's my situation. I started Gore. Did I start? Yeah, on a bye week though. Somebody got Ronald Jones out. I
Bro,
would say yeah,
Right now,
probably Frank Gore, but fucking
a
Frank Gore.
stash. People get hurt.
Stash for what? Oh, somebody. So your bank. You're thinking about somebody getting hurt. That's your
Yes.
plan
I'm not praying for that, but that
for?
happens.
No, I mean,
Every
that's-
week
is that
somebody
what you're?
gets hurt.
You're not even worried. You're not. I mean, somebody does get
That-
hurt. I understand that. I
18
understand.
carries.
I understand people get hurt.
He got 15 carries last week. 18 carries this week.
Bro, they played the Chargers like 2 weeks ago, and the
He-
Chargers like the third worst run.
He's
D.
getting He's getting volume. Like,
I mean,
how many running backs are getting 18 carries?
for nothing.
What do you mean for nothing?
Like, I mean, what do you mean?
How-
Like,
but how
your
many
backup running
backs?
back, your backup running
Listen.
back is getting what, like 9 carries for more than what Frank
Well,
Gore is
look,
doing.
just like Jacobs is about to be out. Like, somebody might need a running back.
How many backs you got? How many backs do you have in there? You're missing. So your team will have to have 3 backs to have Frank Gore, because
no, you,
who's your running back 2? Who
I'm
you
not-
gonna
I'm not
who you
saying
gonna
for
put in there?
me.
Who you gonna put in there?
I'm not
I'm
saying
saying
for
for
me.
someone else.
I'm saying for the
someone else.
fantasy community.
Yes.
If you need to stash Frank Gore, he's a starter. Like I said, he got
Flex play, man.
fit. Yeah, I'm not saying he's a. Like I'm saying he's a
If
starter
that.
for the Jets.
If
Yeah,
you need
15
Frank
carries,
Gore right now, and
15
you don't have no
carries.
running backs at all.
15 carries, 18 carries. Like
Nah, man.
somebody might need him.
Nah.
I would say if you do need him, then go ahead. But would I put him over Booker in the waiver?
No,
Waiver
Booker's
priority,
my
no.
number one waiver.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that. But if you don't get him, I would. If I had to,
in no particular order, but it
Now
is what it
Booker's
is.
the number one waiver pickup this week.
All right, Pittman Jr. Man, I agree with him.
Yeah, I mean Michael Pittman Jr. He didn't have a good week. He had like 4.8 this week,
Still
but he had
good.
9 targets.
Yeah, he's involved.
But in the last 2 games before this game, he had 15 fantasy points. So
And Benny,
Pittman is a good. I'm not saying you're picking him up, you're starting him, but you never know. Like right now, it's crunch time. Like you gotta put potential on your bench just in case something happens. Like and he has good potential. Like he's a good player. He's getting the targets. He's getting passes from Phillip Rivers. He's not looking the
Yeah.
best, but it looks like he can get Pittman the ball. So
sad to say, I would take Pittman over Ty. Sad to say, but
yeah, I mean,
the Pittman has been showing himself the past couple of weeks, so I agree with that. You got Ty on the list too, but Pittman, he's been balling out. Like so, I would definitely.
done with Ty.
I mean,
I'm
Trey
done with
Burton's
him,
a
too.
tight end.
I finally
Trey
released.
Burton,
I finally got rid of him.
he's like hit or miss, but
No, I thought something was happening.
only reason I have Benny Snell on there, he's on the 25% of the lead. Only reason he's on there is because if James Conner's out again, then you
Yeah.
can maybe start Benny Snell. Of course, you're going to watch the game right now and see if he's a potential starter or not. But talking right now, if James Conner's out, then you should pick up Benny Snell.
Latavius Murray.
Latavius Murray, as y'all saw last week, you said 16 rushes for 124 yards,
19 carries.
19 carries, 124, 2 touchdowns. As long as Taysom Hill is the starter, you might be able to start Latavius Murray. but you definitely want him on your bench right now. Like it's playoff time. Something happens to Kamara, he's a running back one for sure. So definitely pick up Latavius Murray if he's available in your league. Kirk Cousins, yes. Tom Brady's on bye this week. Lamar Jackson might not play. So if you're one of those owners of Tom Brady or Lamar Jackson, you need a quarterback and he's available in your league, they play Jacksonville this week. You know what teams been doing against Jacksonville, anything they want. So if you're in need of a quarterback because of a bye week or injury or COVID, Kirk Cousins is a good stream option this week.
I agree. He's been playing well the past 2 games, over 300 passing yards with 3+ touchdowns. So he's been playing solid. So he's definitely a good plug-in. I agree with
definitely
that.
Definitely a good plug-in against Jacksonville. Cam Akers, he led the team in rushing yards with 83 yards, and he scored a touchdown this week. I believe last week he led the team in rushing yards. Rushing attempts. So he's a rookie. So I feel like when it comes to rookies in fantasy, I feel like they should be on your roster, especially when they get. I think he went second round. Like, and they're running back. I feel like they should be on your roster just because of they're going to give the rookie opportunities. Like, they don't know what he can do. So you don't either. So Henderson and Brown, they haven't showed that any of them could be a lead back. So I feel like if Cam Akers can show something like he did last week, he can become the number one for the Rams. So I feel like he's a good waiver pickup this week also. Rashad Perriman.
I mean, they throw him the ball now.
They throw him the ball. He's Flacco's go-to guy.
Yeah, they throw him the ball now.
Long as Flacco's in there. Oh, did Flacco start this week?
Yeah, but Darnold about to start this week.
Yeah, but I mean, even with Darnold, like he showed in Baltimore that Tampa, he can go deep and catch the ball. Like, I'm not saying he's a plug-in guy, no, but he's a guy that you stash on your bench and something happens, or if you got Chris Godwin on the bye and you need to fill in somebody this week, Rashad Perriman is a good fill-in waiver wire pickup this week.
I don't know.
Nelson Aguilar, I mean,
he's up and down.
He's up and down, but
I like him though.
I like him. He's been the go-to target for the Raiders.
Yeah, I like him.
Go-to target for the Raiders.
I don't know if I like Nelson Aguilar.
He's only on the 32% league.
I like the matchup though too because they're going against the Jets.
And also, this could be for deeper leagues.
This could be a matchup. This could be a good matchup for him where he
Nelson
takes advantage of it. I'm just saying.
Will not be involved. He won't be involved. Man. He won't be involved. I mean,
now Derek Carr.
I used to grab Nelson Aguilar like in my leagues. Like I used to scoop him. But I mean,
he's been the go-to guy.
Nah, bro.
Like no other receiver like Henry Ruggs not doing nothing. Hunter Renfrow is not really doing nothing.
They just lost like 40-6.
Aguilar,
they just lost 40-6. I think 40 something to 6.
I mean,
it's 1 week.
It doesn't look good.
I mean, and the matchup was a good matchup versus Atlanta and.
It was a great matchup against Atlanta. Like Atlanta's corners are trash.
I mean, but people be going on Atlanta, but they be having their weeks some
trash.
Nah,
like what we talking about? Atlanta?
They be having their weeks sometimes. I'm saying
what against Carolina in the rain?
Come on, who else? Like Derek Carr. Like Derek Carr's inconsistent. Like nobody thinks Derek Carr's going to go out there and throw for 300 yards every game. I don't care who his opponent is. Like you never know with Derek Carr.
You never know. I mean, he has those.
But if he's on and he's throwing and he's in rhythm.
Hopefully he's on.
It's been going to Nelson Aguilar.
Hopefully he's on. I mean,
like I said, these are not like guaranteed. Oh, go pick this guy up. But like, you gotta put people on the waiver wire. You gotta put them on the like. You gotta put somebody. I can't have 3 people on there. Like, Nelson Aguilar is not a guaranteed starter.
Yeah, he's not guaranteed. I mean, you gotta play the match. You
got injuries.
Yeah, you gotta play the matchup with that one. You gotta play the matchup with that one.
Yeah, you're playing the matchup.
And they're going against the Jets, so this would be one where you would.
But your long shot bet out.
It's a long shot.
Go to Trey.
We got Trey Burton on there, and then we got T.Y. Hilton.
And they're going against the Houston Texans, which
against Houston.
Now, is Roby going to play? Is Roby playing?
I'm
I
not
don't know if he. I don't know if he would, because I know
hear nothing
that.
about Bradley Roby. Bradley Roby,
Yeah,
the corner being out.
yeah.
I ain't hear
mean,
nothing about that.
I
I don't
heard
know if Roby
some-
gonna play, but T.Y. Hilton finally found the end zone. Maybe that's gave him some confidence. So if he's out there in your league and
Still not 87 yards, man.
and you're like, oh, I need,
Ty.
I need,
Ty-
risky. I need to stream somebody.
One
this
of the
week.
main
I need a
reasons.
flex play or something, and you want to take a gamble, you want to roll the dice, scoop
No way.
scoop
Nah.
Ty and start him.
I'm on.
No way.
I'm
Scoop
There's
on.
no way you're about to say
I'm
that.
on Twan's side with that now. I'm just
You're
like,
not about to
T.Y.
say that.
started.
You're not about to say that. You would
Yeah.
never.
T.Y.
All
is
the
one of
guys
reasons
you
why-
can scoop off the waivers.
Ty is one of the reasons why I am not contending for the playoffs right now.
Nah, I wouldn't
It-
say that, John.
I mean, no. There was
You had some
there were
bad-
two
Bro.
two games where I wish I could have had back where Ty was in my lineup.
Bro,
You can have somebody else in there.
I could have had somebody else in there. Yeah. So that's why I would say that even if I
Yeah.
had one game back,
Yeah,
I would
man.
be in contention still. I mean, I get what
you
you're saying.
You had some bad weeks with Watson in there, like
Yeah, I did.
It wasn't the same, man. It's not
you
good.
can't-
It's not
you
good.
can't play
It's not good.
T.Y.
So where no, you can't play Ty.
No, you can't blame.
Now-
You
and
can't play Ty. You
And,
can't play Ty.
and I'm a victim
You can't
of
play Ty.
not listening to the show is exactly what. Okay, Twan had his input in it. I believe that he could have did what he could have did better. I mean, I picked Ty like in the 4th round, and he didn't live up to what he needed to do. Yeah, I picked him in front of DK Metcalf. I could have had DK Metcalf on my team.
Over.
I put
No!
I mean, a lot of
Hold on.
people could.
Hold on. Wait.
I mean-
You could have picked. You could have picked
DK Metcalf.
DK over
Nah,
T.Y.
we're not gonna have this talk right now because
Yeah,
we're not gonna have those talks.
Yeah. I
because
mean,
of course
That's
you're gonna be
true,
like,
that's
oh,
true.
you should have
That's
picked him.
true.
Like,
That's true because I picked because
you want nobody was
yeah,
thinking about it.
because-
He went
because I
5th round
could've
for a reason.
I could have picked like
A lot of people could have picked DK.
I could have picked anybody over the guys that I picked my guys over.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't.
whatever.
yeah,
Facts.
but
facts.
it is what it is, you know.
Yeah. I hit Ross.
But, all right, that wraps up the waiver wire, and we'll get into the stardom sit-ems, and this is going to be an interesting conversation.
staying
It'll
out
probably
of
be
that
an
here.
interesting
I'm saying
segment.
that.
It might be
It's
an
interesting segment coming up, but
I'm staying out of this one.
but we're gonna get into that. We'll touch on it more when you go through your sit-ems.
I'm staying out of it. I'm gonna try my best to stay. out
Man,
of
it is
this
what it
one.
is, dog.
You know,
This we usually one of us
gets disrespectful.
is over the stardom. We do the whole thing, but this week we kind of switched it up a little bit. So one of us did the stardoms, and then the other person did the sit-ems. So Twan had the sit-ems this week. I had the stardoms.
So
we
John
switched
might
it
have
up.
some players that are starting.
So it's going
that
to be a
Twan has
little,
a
maybe a little
sit-ems.
bit different. There's going to be a little bit of controversy there, but we will get into that as we go.
Hey, tell
through.
him, Demo. Listen to me, man.
But all right, Sean touched on Kirk Cousins earlier in the show, and I had him as a starter. They're going against Jacksonville, and the past 2 weeks, Kirk Cousins has been playing well, over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. So that's a great plug and play for this week if you need somebody. I need a quarterback to fill in. Moving forward, Taysom Hill going against Atlanta. When he played Atlanta the first time, he had a great game. He had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
I think he threw over 200.
Threw over 200
I think
yards.
he, I think he threw over 200 because
So,
Michael Thomas had a good game.
he's getting
too.
that same
Like
matchup
104 or
again.
something like that.
So I believe that he'll
Yeah.
he'll do justice for that. He'll do well. Then Ryan Tannehill going against Cleveland. Tannehill has been picking it up a little bit as well, even though Derrick Henry's been running like a
Wow.
monster.
Wildfire.
Tannehill,
Yeah,
Tannehill's
Derrick Henry-
been playing-
Derrick Henry been on a tear, man.
yeah, Henry's been playing well, but Tannehill, I think
Tell me
this
about
also be a game for him to do his thing. Even in that game last week, he had a rushing touchdown
Who?
against the Colts. He had a rushing touchdown.
Derrick Henry.
No, Tannehill.
Oh, Tannehill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tannehill.
They did.
I think he did. I think he
so,
did.
I mean, I feel like he'll have a solid game this week going against
The
Cleveland.
Colts defense.
Lamar Jackson. This is if he plays. If he plays against Dallas, I like the matchup. Just Dallas is just a wreck right now. You see what our Washington football team did to them on Thanksgiving. Shout out to the Washington football team.
Shout out
Antonio
Antonio
Gibson.
Gibson.
So if Lamar Jackson plays, shoot, I mean, even if RG3 plays, I mean, he may be a little. He may be a great fill-in. He may be a great fill-in. So that's something that that's a pump play right there. Like if you really need somebody, RG3 could be.
That's only if you're desperate.
If you're desperate,
Desperation.
Desperation. But let me finish up with the list. We're moving to the running backs. Kenyon Drake. This is Kenyon Drake's time of the year. Last year, around this time, he started picking it up and won a lot of people fantasy championships last year. So this could be the time for him to
King Drake.
pick it up. I traded him. I mean, I did.
Kenyon Drake, he's making me mad right now.
Yeah.
He's taking away from Kyler Murray.
But
What are we supposed to do all year, man?
Rushing touchdowns. Like,
Playing running back.
I don't want that to happen now. Like,
But Kyler Murray, I mean, he was taken away from Drake as well because he was rushing it in.
Nah,
Kyler
man.
Murray want to win it. Don't he want to win?
You a championship?
Yeah.
No. Like I'm saying, like, yeah.
He didn't have the most
What
quarterback
we talking
rushing-
about,
he didn't
bro?
have the
What we
most
talking about?
quarterback rushing touchdown. Break that record. Like, come on.
You don't care about that. You
Yes,
want
he
the team to win
does.
games.
They're losing because he's loafing.
Kenyon
He's
Drake,
hurt.
He's not
Kenyon
hurt.
Drake is picking it up.
Shut it
I like Kenyon Drake moving forward. We'll move forward to the next running back that I have on the list. David Montgomery. This past game, he 22 point what? He had
22.8.
22.8. So
He had
Sean knows that
20.8,
to the
didn't he?
T.
22.8.
Sure.
22.8.
Yeah, positive. 100%.
We had this conversation last week about David Montgomery, and he played well. But it was one big play that really got a majority of what he did. But he was a great play, and I think this week he keeps it going. So I like him as a stardom this week. Then Clyde has been a disappointment the past couple weeks. But
disappointing.
He was a sit-em. He was a sit-em last week. If y'all watched this, last week, he was a sit-em.
he was a sit-em. But this
Not
was
doing nothing against Tampa's run D.
they're going against Denver this week.
Clyde?
Which you should have more opportunities to make something happen.
Level.
So I do think that he gets on the right track this week. But moving forward, I mean, I wouldn't trust him that much with the other matchup, but this is a good matchup for him, so I think he'll do well. Then Myles Gaskins for Miami, he's coming back. This is if he plays. Right now, the running back situation is just hasn't been great. Last week they trotted out Breida, Laird. I mean, if he gets back and going against Cincy, he should be able to play well. We saw Gallman had a solid game for Cincy last week, so I think that if Gaskin gets back in there, he's going to have a solid week.
Nah, I'm just playing with this week, but I agree.
Yeah, but moving on to the wide receivers.
Nobody.
Wide receivers. This is where we're going to have a little. I mean, if you want to get into the discussion now or wait till you do your sit-ups, we can.
I don't need to get.
But Brandon Cooks going versus Indianapolis. We got the news with Will Fuller. Brandon Cooks will be the number one guy for the Houston Texans moving forward for the rest of the season. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much he's suspended 6 games, and that carries the whole season. Then he'll have one game next year, so he's pretty much done for the year. But Brandon Cooks, I feel like he's going to be a solid play in this game. I mean, with the Colts, the past 3 games, the Colts have averaged points against 31 points again. That was a lot came from Tennessee. We'll say that, but the past 3 games, 31.2, I believe, and then also throughout season was like 20. They've 23 points against, and I feel like the Colts are going to have. I mean, the Houston's going to have to throw the ball. Also, Phillip Rivers has been picking it up, so I feel like they're going to be playing catch up in this game. So Brandon Cooks, he's also shown that he's been at number 1 before, so this is not new territory for him. I feel like Watson's got to throw the ball to somebody, and Watson's been hot the past couple of weeks, and I think that he's going to continue doing that, and I feel like Brandon Cooks is going to be a part of it, but we'll get into – I know Twan's going to rebuttal that, but we'll get into that later on, but definitely Brandon Cooks for me is a stardom. Jarvis Landry finally got things together last week, and put up a solid number. He put up 24 fantasy points this week, and they're going against Tennessee. I feel like Cleveland's going to have to throw the ball to stay in this game. When I mentioned Tannehill, I feel like Tannehill is going to do better. I mean, Derrick Henry is going to be Derrick Henry, but I do feel like this is going to be a game that Cleveland is going to be down in, and they're going to have to stay in it. So I think Jarvis Landry is going to be the beneficiary of that.
I agree with that.
So definitely a starter for me.
I can see
Let's
Landry.
spray on it.
I can see Landry. No, I see Landry going off this week. I see Landry having a big game.
Yeah. No, to the next receiver on my stardom list.
Sure.
Michael Pittman. Sean touched on Michael Pittman as a way pickup. I like him more than Ty. I feel like he's just getting more involved each and every week, and Rivers is looking his way. The targets are going up, so Houston has already shown that their defense isn't that great. And then if
vulnerable,
and he's not going to be Ty is going to be covered by Roby. So Pittman's going to be the guy getting most of the targets. I believe that he gets more targets than Ty in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So I see Pittman as a great play going against Houston. And then moving forward to Corey Davis, I feel like with A.J. Brown out there, that's going to shift most of that. A.J. Brown having a big game last week, that's going to leave more opportunities for Corey Davis on the other side going against Cleveland. Like I said before, I think this is going to be a game that Cleveland's going to have to play catch-up in, and Corey Davis, I feel, will be a beneficiary of that.
It's crazy. A lot of people around fantasy football is high on Corey Davis.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm
not high on Corey Davis just because, like, he has some good games. Like, he's a first-round pick. Like, he has some good games. But he hasn't shown, like, consistency, like, ever. So I don't know.
True.
I wouldn't bet on him. Like, I
Which
wouldn't
is
make
true.
him my stardom. Like, he wouldn't be my stardom just because he's inconsistent. Like, you never know what you're going to get from that guy. You either get 24 or 2.
Yeah.
Like,
boom or bust.
boom or bust. So
Yeah, I mean,
but like you said,
this past week he only had 3 receptions, but he went for 70 yards. Then the week before that, 5 touches for 11.3, and then 5 for 67. So he's been picking it up. He's been
a little bit.
He's been picking it up a little bit, and I feel like this could be a week where he could have a solid week going against Cleveland. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I definitely have him I have him as a starter. Moving forward with the tight ends, Jonnu Smith going against Cleveland. I just like the matchup all around for Tennessee. So Jonnu, definitely Twan. I think I would definitely consider putting him in your lineup. I mean, yeah, I even though Jonnu has been disappointing, but
He hasn't
He's
been,
been-
he hasn't been
Yeah.
that
He
disappointing.
He hasn't been
he hasn't been that
Yeah,
disappointing.
right.
No,
But it's
didn't
like,
he score? He scored last week.
nah,
It's
last
just
week he had
tight ends,
54
man.
snaps, no targets.
No targets.
No
Mm.
targets.
That's
See,
disappointing.
I'm thinking about the week before where he had that touch.
He had a rushing touchdown, right? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like he had big targets in that game though. Against the Colts.
Mhm.
Like he had big targets in that game. I don't know what it was last game. I think it was an outlier. But
Mm-hmm.
nah, I'm not going with John. I'm going with Hunter Henry for sure. Yeah.
But I mean, I like Jonnu, and then Eric Ebron, he's playing right now currently. I saw he was getting targeted up there. We saw we was from the comments where he was watching them. So
Crazy football is on right now.
yeah, so I like
There's a
Eric
game on
Ebron
right now.
As we speak.
That is
against
crazy,
my beloved
man.
Washington football team. We haven't really done well against the tight end. I mean, barring Schultz this past week,
Yeah, we've been good on the outside, but when it comes to
when it comes to tight ends, we just haven't
Yeah.
been great. So I like Ebron versus going against us. Robert Tonyan versus Philly. Philly has just been playing awful. Wentz hasn't been able to get it going, so we don't know what's going on with them. But Robert Tonyan also had a good week as well. He had a touchdown last week, and I feel like he's going to continue that versus Philly. I feel like it's a big week for Aaron Rodgers and everybody else. I'm kind of treating this like how I usually treat Jacksonville. Like if you have somebody on Green Bay at wide receiver, I could even just throw Lazard in there. I wouldn't go as far as Marquez Valdez Scantling. I wouldn't go as far as MVS, but I like the matchup there. We saw what Seattle was able to do. DK just ate Slay. It was just ridiculous. But I feel like that could be the same thing. Devontae is going to have a week, and then I feel like Tanya could have his opportunities out there. So I would definitely have him as a stardom this
Green
week.
Bay gonna score a lot of points that game.
Yeah, they're going to score a lot of points, and Tanya should get his opportunities. Hayden Hurst going against New Orleans. I like that matchup. I know I did you wrong a couple weeks ago with Hayden Hurst, but he gave you that goose. But I feel like he gets it together this week, especially if Julio does not play this week. So Julio's status is still up in the air. So you'll have really, and then even the other wide receiver, Zacchaeus or whatever his name
number
is.
17.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah,
he's out. He's out. So Hurst should see more opportunities this week. So I like him going
blocking
against,
a lot that last game, so I don't know, man.
Yeah, but
They shut it down. And
he's going to have. He's going to have to
defense.
run. He's going to have to
You're
run
done.
more routes.
You're done. Like I'm not starting that guy.
He's going to have to run
Hunter
more
Henry's
routes.
finished. I mean, Hayden Hurst is finished. He's finished. I'm not.
I
I
disagree.
have Hunter Henry. That's why he's finished. But if you have Hayden Hurst, I would say start him, give him a chance at redemption. But that guy's done with me. Done. It's Hunter Henry show.
That's how I feel about
All
the coach.
right,
D.
now moving into the defenses, Seattle versus the Giants. I'm liking Seattle's D. And Sean, I know you reached for him, got him, picked him up before. So I like that. Colt McCoy should be starting next week. I don't believe in Colt McCoy to come out and have a great game versus Seattle. And Seattle's defense has been picking it up the past couple of weeks with Jamal Adams out there. I feel like they're starting to get things together. So I like their defense going against a subpar team in the New York Giants. I think they get that win.
Daniel Jones might not play.
I don't think he's going to play.
There, so
Colt McCoy is going to be out there, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a plus for the Seattle Seahawks defense. And then Miami, they've been a sleeper defense all year. I mean, I don't just want to say that they're sleepers anymore. Like they've been playing well the past couple weeks, and they're going against Cincinnati. And we already know what Cincinnati situation is with Joe Burrow down. They just don't look the same with him not out there. So
right now, I feel like you're starting any defense against Cincinnati.
Yeah. So
especially Miami because
and Miami is not they're not a trash. They've been playing very well. So I would definitely go with Miami. And to the next defense, Green Bay Packers. We discussed that with Philly. Whatever you got against Philly, start them. Wentz ain't been playing well.
Bro, anybody you got against Philly.
So Green Bay.
You can start anybody against Philly right now. That's so bad. So bad.
Yeah.
Like that's so bad. But you can start anybody against Philly right now.
Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle.
DK went off. And then
you can start anybody out there.
Yeah. Then Seattle's defense played well too. Like Wentz didn't do shit out there. So
Wentz leads the league in
Wentz
picks.
didn't do shit out there.
He leads the league in picks. He's trash.
Yeah. So and then
they need to put the rook in.
Yeah, Jalen needs a
They're
shot.
drafting them for a reason.
Jalen.
They knew what was up.
Could be a possibility. Then Las Vegas Raiders going against the Jets.
Start everybody against the Jets.
Start everybody against the Jets. And ain't gonna get too much in that. That rounds up our stardoms for the week, and I'm gonna just throw it over to Swan for the situms.
All right, so Brown. I mean, it's not a test to it's more to what I got Jalen Ramsey doing with
Damn, not a downgrade. You gave my man
B-Hop,
sit him.
you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Yeah, man, you got sit that guy. You got to sit that guy right now.
Disrespectful.
It's I mean, from last week, it didn't look good. It didn't look good last week. I think he's favoring that shoulder, man. He's favoring that shoulder a lot. So I think that you really might, if who are your other options? How deep is your league? You're starting him. I got somebody else on my downgrade. You're starting him, but if you got somebody else you can consider, then maybe he hasn't been rushing in the past 2 weeks either. I mean, it's not as sweet as it was right now. I know that his shoulder, he's favoring the shoulder 100%. He's favoring the shoulder. He doesn't want to take any hits, so he can make like some erratic plays. He's gonna have Aaron Donald chasing him, man. So I mean, it is what it is. I would consider sitting Matt Ryan versus New Orleans 2 weeks ago. Matt Ryan played New Orleans. You guys can look it up if you want to, but didn't look good. And got through no touchdowns. They shut it down. There's no run game there. He's not gonna have no Todd Gurley. They know they're coming out the pass.
No run game.
New Orleans Saints have a good defense. I mean, they have Cameron Jordan up front, like a Pro Bowl, All Pro pass rusher. He might be an All Pro. Sure.
Cam Jordan made it all pro.
Yeah.
But
Cam Jordan, All Pro pass rusher. I mean, they got a lot of front. I don't think that the Falcons will have enough. They got some banged up wideouts. It's going to be it's going to be a more competitive game than last game, but I think that you could definitely bench Matt Ryan in regards to the defense because he hasn't looked too good. He hasn't at all. All right, Carson Wentz. If you got any, so me going forward, if you got anybody starting, if you got anybody starting Carson Wentz, like start that defense against Carson Wentz because Carson Wentz has not looked good at all. Carson Wentz leads the league in picks. Just like I said, Carson Wentz leads the league in picks. He hasn't looked good. If they go to Jalen Hurts, then temper your expectations because they're going to cater the offense around Jalen Hurts. But Carson Wentz has not looked good this year. I mean, and they paid him to look good. Yeah, the offensive line's banged up. There's a lot going on there until they switch up the game plan. Like you said,
you run the ball to Miles Sanders.
Yeah, Miles Sanders averages 60 yards per carry. They need to start running the ball. They need to look into these stats and figure out what are Miles Sanders' best runs and best plays. You know what I'm saying? Fill them out. So I don't think it looks good right there so far. I don't think it looks good in Philly at all right now with them throwing the ball because nobody respects their wide receivers. But I mean,
zero respect.
Going on to the next, you know what I'm saying? I would downgrade. I don't think that. They played last week.
Aaron Rodgers plays the Philadelphia Eagles.
Aaron Rodgers plays the Eagles, and that's not who I put on there. So it might be. I don't know. I don't think so. Though. Hope not. Anyway, we'll do Duke and David Johnson. Duke and David Johnson versus Indy. I think Darius Leonard is shutting that down. I don't think you should start Duke or David Johnson this week. I don't think that it looks good for them. The Colts front seven, they got ran over last week by Derrick Henry, but mind you, Derrick Henry ran for 101 yards in the first game. So, I mean, he ran for 146 and a touchdown this game, two touchdowns in this game. So, I mean, he had a great day, but Duke and David are not those guys.
Nope.
At all. I don't think they're worrying about the run game there. Antonio Gibson versus Pitt. As we speak, the game is going on. Y'all can tell me how y'all feel about Pitt's defense, but Pitt's defense is shutting it down in the run game. Gus Edwards scored from the 1. Yeah, that's great. But I mean, I think that if you could possibly find a better option, maybe you could sit Antonio Gibson. I hope Antonio Gibson has a good game because I'm a Washington football fan, but like being realistic, it's not looking too good. I mean, he's gonna have a solid game, like in regards to probably like 50 yards, 15 touches. I mean, 12 touches or so, but they'll probably be down in that game. Devin Singletary versus San Fran. San Fran just shut down the entire Rams run game. So I think that the San Fran run game is pretty good. I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I feel like San Fran's defense is playing way better.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
They're playing better.
They're good,
man.
They're
better
good.
football.
They're good.
They
playing
lost
really
a lot
good
of guys
football.
early. Now they're learning how to play with the guys they have.
Yeah,
So,
San Fran's defense is pretty solid, man. They're pretty solid out there on defense. I got Alvin Kamara as a downgrade against Atlanta. This is my guy, as everybody knows. But in regards to how the offense is being ran, you just downgrade them.
Mm.
I mean, it's really got to the point where it's expect the worst, hope for the best right now because I don't know if.
Did he have a catch
I don't know.
last week?
Yeah, one catch for -5 yards.
And I think Taysom Hill has a big part to play in that. Taysom Hill has a big part.
Taysom Hill definitely has a part to play in that.
He doesn't look for the check now.
Yeah,
it doesn't. He's running or he's throwing to Michael Thomas. I mean, as the offense under him should be ran. Like you gotta. But from a football perspective, I can't be mad because they're undefeated in this process. From a fantasy perspective, I'm upset. I'm thinking like, oh my God, I got my guy on here on Siddums. Like, what are we talking about, Swan? But I'm being a realist. Like,
guy that was running back one, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's running back 2 right now. Like, I mean, I can't be mad.
That's
Like,
crazy.
he's RB2 right now, and I'm saying like downgrade him, temper your expectations. The same thing if we had Zeke on here every single week.
You need to talk to Drew Brees.
I don't want to talk
real
about
quick.
that no
Tell him to get
more.
back.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the wide receivers, man. Kenny Galladay versus Chicago. It's a tough matchup against Chicago. Devontae Adams had 61 yards and a
And he's
touchdown.
banged out.
And yeah, and Kenny Galladay's banged up. So it's his first game is coming against Kyle Fuller out there. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the pass rush is gonna be alive out there, getting after Matt Stafford running for his life. I don't see much of Kenny Galladay out there. Brandon Cooks versus Indianapolis. Indianapolis is coming off a bad game. I mean, if you want to consider, you want to say it's a bad game. I mean, AJ Brown had a catch for 69 yards. You take that away, he has like 19 yards in a game or so in regards to receiving. I mean, he didn't have a great game minus that one play. And I don't think that Brandon Cooks is making that play against Xavier Rhodes or Rocky Sin.
I mean, if you would have had Brandon Cooks as a downgrade, I would have agreed with that. But to have him as a sit-em, I don't agree with that.
Downgrades are only for wide receiver ones, and that guy's not that.
Here's the thing:
he
is going to be a wide receiver one. Though.
No, he's not.
He is. Who else is the wide receiver?
One?
No.
You talking about as a wide receiver overall in the fantasy?
That's
what you're talking about.
Great players. I'm a Camaro on downgrade.
But
your
guy is, a sit-em.
And the guy that is on downgrade, it's not.
You brought up AJ Brown. AJ Brown had a good week against
AJ Brown is 10 times better than
even Marvin Jones put up 17 fantasy points against the Indianapolis Colts.
Who?
Marvin Jones. He had 2 touches.
What?
He had 2 touches. Two touches.
Cool.
I mean, I'm not. I mean,
Marvin
the
Jones
yardage is
bigger
what
than
there,
Brandon
but
Cooks. Like, it's not.
But
I mean, it is what it is. Just like my man said. Hey, I'll shout out my man Ross. But look, here's the thing. My man said it's a division game. It can go either way, and it can go either way to where it can be Brandon Cooks or it could be nothing for Brandon Cooks. You know what I'm saying? It could be somebody else. But I don't see it being Brandon Cooks only because I think that he ate a lot. He's playing against the second DB out there. Will Fuller was out there. Every game that he played, Will Fuller was out there, bro. So I'm saying in the games that he wasn't, put it like this. The Colts defense have allowed 15 passing touchdowns over the course of 11 games. It's 1.36. So if you want to get technical, bro, I don't see that one touchdown going to your guy who has 3 touchdowns this year.
But for the past 3 weeks, for the past 3 weeks,
I'm just being real.
All right,
I don't see it going to Brandon Cooks. Even his number one guy, we can shift our defense to being Brandon Cooks. Okay, you're the number one guy, but we're going to shut that down 100%.
Now,
and that's how I feel.
Now, what I'm saying, like I said before, the past 3 weeks, Indianapolis Colts defense has averaged, their defense 31.2 as far as points against them. And there's got to be, and then even if you want to go whole season, 23 point something points against them. So Colts have not been playing the way that they've been playing earlier on in the season.
Who have they played?
I mean, yeah, they played bums, but then also you got to also look at Deshaun Watson as well.
Who the bums?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you look at Colts, like
you're talking about the Nick Chubbs. You're talking about Nick Chubb because one of those weeks was 10-7 against the Browns.
No, but I'm
Nick
saying,
Chubb, but what the Whiteout do? Nothing. What Jarvis Landry do? Nothing. He's number one. It does.
What did AJ?
Is Jarvis Landry better than Brandon Cooks right now? Yay or nay?
That's my disagreement. That's my disagreement.
Yay or nay? Like, is Jarvis Landry better than Brandon Cooks?
I don't mean he's not showing it.
You don't know, so
he's not showing
it's like
it.
a 10-yard difference.
But Brandon Cooks, has been
what I'm saying
before.
I'm saying
so there's not new territory.
When Indy got their points, they played bad. Like they played Jacksonville, Minnesota week 2. When Minnesota was not, they were looking terrible.
Okay.
The Jets, Chicago, Cleveland.
What are you looking at right now?
I'm looking at the teams that the Colts have played.
Okay.
Cleveland.
Go to the last 3 weeks.
Tennessee, Green Bay, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee's a good offense. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers now. Come on, bro.
I'm saying
when
they were putting up their big points, they put up 27 against the Jets.
The week before Pittsburgh. The week before Tennessee twice. For the first time they played Baltimore. Tough. Okay.
Yeah, but they actually the Colts was pretty solid
before
against
that.
They were, but
What
we
I
have
would-
to pull up. We have to pull
I
up
feel
Brandon.
like-
we have to pull
I mean,
up
they've been
Brandon Cooks'
scoring
point.
touchdowns. Listen,
Brandon Cooks.
this is what I'm gonna say about the Colts D.
You can still justify that by saying that he was a number 2 and Will Fuller.
This is what I'm gonna say about the Colts
You
D.
can still.
What I'm saying is,
You can,
I don't think that. Put it like this: I have Brandon Cooks as a sit-em because as him being the number one, I don't see it. I don't see it. I think that they shut it down. I think that the Colts defense rebounds from last week 100%. I think that they do. I think they have a good week. I think that they're a solid defensive team to start fantasy for sure. Claypool.
all right, we can move forward.
All
I was going to say was the reason why I had him as a starter was just because I felt like they were going to be that the Colts are going to be up.
No,
this
it's
game,
not like you
and they're
felt
going-
like you feel like because the game hasn't happened yet.
Well,
So here, put it like this.
Okay, yeah,
Put it like
okay.
this. What I would say is, dog, we 50-50 on this. I'm sit him, you're start him. And to where you think he's gonna have a blank, you think you have like a blank game? I don't think you do. I do. I think he's gonna have a blank game. I'm not a blank game to where nothing, but I think he's gonna have like 5 catches, 60 something yards, no touchdowns.
But who scores?
Okay, that's
who
great.
scores for Houston? That's my thing. Who else is out there that's going to score for them?
Someone else,
Kiki
like
Cutie.
maybe. Look, I think he has a tough. I think he has
Like
a
you
tough
said with the running game.
matchup, bro.
like,
I said,
you even
15
had-
touchdowns in 11 games, 1.36.
You even had Duke Johnson and David Johnson as sit-ems, which I do agree because they're not going to be able to run the ball.
It could be the Deshaun Watson running it in show out there.
So he's going to run in every touchdown. That's what we ain't going.
It's not like he hasn't.
We can agree to.
It's not like he hasn't, and it's not like he's going to give the ball to somebody else. Like, don't get me wrong, David Johnson or Duke Johnson could possibly score, but they're not going to go off. All right,
we move forward.
Cool.
Move forward on that.
All right, Chase Claypool versus Washington. Washington's defense has been pretty solid. I mean, y'all seen last week outside that big play from Coop, they pretty much shut it down out there. So I think that Claypool. I don't think Claypool will be the beneficiary in that offense. I think it might be Deontay or somebody else, but I think that they're keying in on the young man out there for Notre Dame. Downgrade DeAndre Hopkins versus the Rams. I mean, the Rams have Jalen Ramsey. I saw what Gilmore did out there last week. What do you have? Like 3 catches, 2 catches?
Yeah, three for 26 yards.
3 catches for 26 yards in front of Stephon Gilmore. Jalen Ramsey is shadowing that all game, saying downgrade him. Of course, you're starting D-Hop. Like, he's D-Hop. But
He can give you one.
yeah, temper your expectations. He's no, more than 1. He might give you 5 or 6, but
I'm talking about that play though.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
More than 1. Meaning like, yeah.
Give you a play.
100%. But I think everybody agrees, like, Jalen Ramsey out there. I mean, you're starting him, but you're nervous. Evan Ingram versus Seattle. Seattle hasn't really been giving it up against the tight ends. They're going to count, but what fantasy is going to count out there is the Richard Rodgers touchdown on the Hail Mary. That's like a 54-yard. That's like a 12-point difference in rankings, right?
That
there.
happened?
You feel me? Yeah, Richard Rodgers caught the Hail Mary. 50 yards.
I didn't even see that.
So
Some
where
people lost.
I
fantasy
stopped
matchups
watching
off of
that, bro.
people lost
yeah.
money in
Really?
Vegas because of that.
Yeah, because the spread was like 6.5.
Spread was 6.
Oh, so it was 6. It was 6. Yeah.
Yes, the spread was 6.
The game ended at what, 6?
The game ended as like
23-17.
No, the spread was 6.5, and
I think it was 6. Yeah, it was 7. Yeah, the spread was like 7. Yeah, 6
tough.
and a half, 7.
Yeah, 7. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what happened. And you know what I'm saying? They're gonna count that, but that's a fluke play.
Mhm.
And that's a lot of yards and stats. 50-yard touchdown for Richard Rodgers, the tight end for the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? But pretty much for the rest of the game, they shut it down. Dallas Goedert, I think he might have scored. Yeah, Dallas Goedert scored, but I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I think that it's shut down. Pretty much. I think that you can, if you got better options, you can start a better option. But Evan Ingram has been so up and down this year, and they don't have Daniel Jones out there. So I mean, Colt McCoy, that's not Jordan Reed. He's not gonna be running routes like that. Yeah, yes, he is against Seattle. 100%, 100%. So Logan Thomas against Pittsburgh. I don't like Logan Thomas against Pittsburgh. I think he sees a lot of Minka Fitzpatrick out there. Dallas Goedert versus Green Bay. I think done 2 picks. Yeah, Graham didn't have a great game out there against. So temper your expectations there. Hunter Henry versus New England. I got Hunter Henry this week. I hope I'm wrong about this, but New England pretty much is solid defense, man. They pretty much shut down Kyler Murray last week. No touchdowns at all. 175 yards, like you said. Pick. I don't know. They got the rookie coming into town, so they might. Bill Belichick might switch it up out there for sure on the defense. New England Patriots defense versus the rookie. It's like I said, it goes both ways because the rookie can make plays, but Bill Belichick can dial them up. I mean, he got a healthy quarterback coming in there, Justin Herbert. You got a healthy Austin Eckler coming in there, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry on the downgrade. You got a lot of guys out there, so hopefully, you know what I'm saying, the Chargers can do something out there.
I feel like that's gonna be a low scoring game. New England.
I mean, it's possible. I feel like that game can go either way because
I don't see a lot of scoring in that game.
New England was in a shootout with the Seahawks. You know what I'm saying? But that was early in the year. New England been in a lot of games to where I mean, my bad. Seattle's been in a lot of games where they've been high scoring, and we can attest that to Russell Wilson throwing for 3 TDs per game. Like they're throwing for a lot of yards.
Mild down a
games,
lot.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He definitely chill, but he's still up there in the MVP race for sure. Cleveland Browns versus Tennessee. I would bench them. Tennessee's offense coming alive. I already know Derrick Henry. This is his time of year right here. We're going into December. You don't want to tackle that, man. You don't want to tackle that. You don't want to tackle AJ Brown coming your way. None of that. Like, I mean, it's gonna be. I feel like that game's gonna be a high scoring game because I think Cleveland offense is solid too with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I think that they're solid guys too. So I think that's a high scoring game. I think you can honestly bench both of those defenses against those respective offenses because I think Jarvis will be like I said this week. I think Jarvis is gonna be involved. Arizona Cardinals, you can bench them against the Rams. I think that the Rams come out there with a strong run game / passing game, play action. They got athletes out there on offense. I think it was it's kind of like an outlier last week, but I think that you can definitely bench the Cardinals defense for sure against the Rams. I got Washington defense on the bench against Pitt. I think that so here's the thing. It's kind of 50-50 here. That's why I put them on a downgrade because I think they may get after Ben.
Yeah, I feel like
they may get after
like
Ben.
You said, they're a downgrade, but
yeah, it's 50-50.
Like
if you got to start them, you can start them. But I feel like Washington, they can still make some plays on Big Ben, strip sack fumbles, but if they get the ball to Deontay, we might be finished.
Yeah.
Which is might be finished out there.
You can't let Big Ben get in rhythm.
Yeah, it was
you can't let him get in rhythm.
And Juju,
yeah,
Claypool, Ebron, James Conner might be back. We don't know. They got a lot out there. That's why I'm saying I don't think Baltimore has a chance this week because I mean, as y'all watching the game right now, I don't think Baltimore has a chance because Lamar is not even in there, so you got RG leading the way, but I don't think so. And that's that, man. I mean, that's it for the starting sitters. I don't think that the football team can compete with Pittsburgh right now.
Yeah. So I mean, overall that was a solid one. I mean, the Henry, I would disagree with that because I would probably I like Hayden Hurst and I like, Hayden Hurst and Jonnu. So I would start them even though you don't want to start them. I think you're going with Hunter Henry in your league, right? In our league, right?
Yeah.
And you have him as you had him as a downgrade.
Yeah, Henry is downgrade. Hunter Henry is downgrade.
I mean, so I like those guys over Hunter Henry this week, but
two of my guys are downgrade. My main guys. It is what it is.
We'll see what happens, man. But overall, I like the sit-ems for the week, and that wraps up our stardom sit-ems. And that wraps up the show. Did y'all have any questions with like any fantasy questions this week on who y'all would like to start doing this week? Questions to who y'all should start, like Twan had last week. You don't have. You're not gonna give the fans another.
Who's y'all? So
I don't really have no questions this week either.
I mean, I
think
really
the guys
don't.
I got in there are the guys I'm going with.
True.
All right.
I don't have.
Well, for me, it would probably be who to start at wide receiver because I don't know. With Julio, Will Fuller gone. I
They
don't
said
know who to
Julio
start.
practice is limited today,
So
that's
y'all,
good news.
yeah. So I mean, y'all could make that decision for me. I got Will Fuller's out. Marvin Jones, Julio. Shoot, who else I got on my team? I don't even. Anthony
Miller.
Miller.
You picked him up.
I picked him up. So I mean that's kind of the opposite. Or Clyde
who
Edwards-Helaire.
Detroit play this week?
Detroit. I'm not sure who Detroit plays, man. I'm not sure who they play. But I mean I'm kind of leaning towards keeping Marvin in there.
Yes.
So
I mean Julio gonna play, bro.
So hopefully Julio plays.
Julio's limited.
And
He's
then
limited on Wednesday, like most likely. He's gonna play. Like if you'd have missed today, then you're concerned about Julio. But I feel like he's gonna play. I feel like the week off,
You start him?
gave him some rest. I'll start him.
all right, would you
Julio's
start?
in
Would
the-
you,
if
would you
Julio's
start?
in the
Would you
lineup,
start Claypool versus Washington football team? This is my upper league.
Claypool versus
This is my.
Claypool versus Washington. I'm starting Claypool.
I'm asking y'all for y'all input, man, because I
depends on
don't
who
know.
you got.
Because
who else you got?
I got Cooper Kupp, I got Antonio Brown, Claypool, Mike Williams. Like,
Yeah, Cooper Kupp and Claypool are your starters right there, man.
okay, they the starters.
Antonio Brown's on the bye.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He is on the bye.
You say who else?
But it wouldn't be any. Well,
Mike Williams. You cannot start Mike Williams against New England.
Can't.
even though Keenan Allen's going to be on Gilmore, that might be more opportunities for him. I
Who
mean,
you gonna start him over? Claypool?
well, Claypool's going to me.
Like, you gotta start Claypool.
All right, we'll go with that. And then we already discussed Kirk Cousins. I'm gonna roll with that at quarterback in that league. So I'm going with Kirk in that league. But I guess that round. Anybody else out there got any questions? YouTube, y'all out there? If y'all do have any questions, man, even when we end the show, y'all can still leave y'all comments below, and we'll get to them. We'll go over them, and we'll try to answer the questions as much as possible, as quick as we can. Get back to those, and then also, It's Nation TV on YouTube. Please, y'all, go ahead and subscribe to It's Nation TV, and also hit that notification bell. So once we release those updates, whatever, y'all will get those immediately on y'all phones or your laptop, whatever. And then IG, The Fantasy with SJT. Once again, The Fantasy with SJT. Give us a follow, hit our DM with questions or this live stream, like I said before. And we will see y'all next week. One love, y'all.
You know these people out here only want to listen to Matthew Berry, man. You know what it is. Like that's what it is. But we hope y'all tune in. Show us some love. We got y'all with the fantasy advice, man. Like,
and then next week mostly it's gonna be, majority of people will be in playoff mode. So definitely take a look at our show, so y'all can can see what our opinions are on who you start, who you should sit. So it's gonna be interesting next week, in the next couple of weeks, because it's crunch time. So yeah, so definitely
straight playoff mode.
check us out.
Yeah.
Check us out. We definitely gonna try to give y'all the best advice that we possibly can give y'all, so y'all can win y'all championships. All right, so we out. We'll see y'all next week. One love, man, always. And
Wear your mask.
wear your mask.
One love, one love.
One love. Deuces.